Good day and happy new month. This is the Obidatti Family TV, and you are live on the Diaspora Diary program on Obidatti Family TV. My name is P. Catch, and with me in the studio is the delectable
Sharon and Mchuku.
Yes, Sharon, how are you doing today?
I'm very well. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you too.
Thank you.
Yes, we're drawing closer to the election day. It's happening this month, yeah?
Yeah, on the 25th.
Yeah, 25th. That's the presidential elections.
True, valid.
All right. Diaspora Diary is a program where we get to interact with Nigerians in the diaspora, and we get to learn about the role the diasporans are playing in this coming elections. Talking about Nigerians in the diaspora, we have a distinguished Nigerian making a difference in the diaspora, Mr. Elvis Chi Nwosu, joining us from Shanghai, China. Hello, Mr. Elvis. How are you doing today?
So I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
All right. Please tell us about the work you're doing in China at the moment.
Anyway, Elvis Mosu is my name. My mom is from Nigeria, and I have this white Jewish father. And I'm originally from, I've been living now in Oslo, Norway for the past 31 years. So I'm a Norwegian citizen, still got the dual citizenship. I'm also a proud Nigerian. I have this transnational relationship with Nigeria. Nigeria is very strong in my heart. I was there till I was 18 before I left. And right now, I am in China because I am attached to the Norwegian General Consulate in Shanghai, which is a diplomatic mission. So
interesting.
That's what I'm doing in China. Shanghai, yes.
Okay. I see the connection because I was a little bit confused with the looks, but that explains it.
You know, Nigerians, we come in all forms and shapes and sizes. Very diverse people.
Yes, as long as the Nigerian blood is in you, you're a Nigerian. Okay, and
Thank
it's
you.
good to see that you are interested and concerned with what is happening in the country. All right, let's talk about the Obidatti campaign, which I believe that you are a strong supporter of. Tell us, have you been involved with any support group or campaign for the Obidatti campaign?
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. I have, like as I told you before we started, I used to be an active Labour Party politician in Norway, and I sat 12 years in Oslo Parliament for Labour. So we have this tradition in Norway that we support all Labour parties all over the world. And when P2B opted to join the Labour Party, I felt it was a very good opportunity for me. I was hoping always for him to take that stand, and he did. So from the time go, I have actually established a Twitter group called the Nigerian for Peace and Justice. I have also identified and spent lots of hours on Twitter Spaces where I have been impressed, educated, motivated, and inspired by millions of Nigerians. I have then built network with them from Kano, Katsina, Niger State, Adamawa, people I have not met before. And I started mentoring and supporting them both financially and with knowledge capital. You know, to build a new movement, it needs also people like us. I have also financially supported all the serious support groups. Whenever there is a rally from the 1 million marches, we started supporting it from Port Harcourt, Edo. So I kind of brought out like ₦1 million, which I have been spreading like butter, just the butter up to everybody who is serious. And I have also, since they say charity begins at home, my mother is from Umkwiri local government in Imo State, even if I see myself as a global citizen. I have also supported the local Labour Party there. There was almost no Labour Party, but we started it and it has actually inspired other diasporans, my friends in Afikpo. We have made sure that the Labour Party offices rented are paid. If you go to my house in Nkwere, my country home, you'll see that my gate has been painted with Obi. So we have both financially, spiritually, with knowledge, and trying to also help the young ones. You know, the young ones are very militant. So old boys like us are also been there to make sure that the narratives are constructive, that it is politics without bitterness, that we support Obi's message, which is to unite, secure, and turn Nigeria into a productive country. So this is my little contribution so far, and I'm doing a lot, and I'm having hope of also coming back to Nigeria the second week of February to make sure that I man my own local polling station.
Interesting. Okay, so if I understand you correctly, your organization supports Labour Party all around the world, okay? Right?
Yes, our Labour Party, the Norwegian Labour Party have a tradition. You know, the Labour Party is it's a social democratic movement all over the world. So we have always a tradition of supporting other Labour parties. I even went in 2008 to campaign for Obama in the US because we see the Democratic Party as our sister organization. We see the Socialist Party in Brazil as our sister organization. So as an old member of the Norwegian Labour Party, individually, I felt that I had an extra responsibility to support a country where my mother comes from, which is Nigeria. And I have used both my knowledge, my financial, little finance I have, and the NGO I run, which is called the African Cultural Awareness, to build alliances, build network, and support those who I felt had leadership qualities, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, but also some of them in the east.
This is interesting. I have a couple of questions for you because a lot of things that I need to understand. First of all, the candidacy of Peter Obi. Peter Obi was in PDP before now. He ran the ticket with Atiku and they lost in 2017. And he came back again, and this time around he lost. He didn't even participate in the primaries. Probably he saw that he didn't stand a chance because of, their interior politics. So he moved to the Labour Party, and pitched his tent there. But I want to know, what is it for you? Is it about the man Peter Obi's candidacy, or is it about Labour Party?
I forgot to tell you that I am also a journalist. I have been a columnist for a left-wing newspaper in Norway called the Class Account. So you can Google my name. And I have always, every 4 years, been mandated by that newspaper to write a column about the Nigerian election, and which I have always done. And I supported Buhari during his own time because like most Nigerians, I bought into that message of change because I felt that after 16 years, like the country I come from, which is Norway, it's good to have a change. In 2009, when Peter Obi was chosen as the vice president, I also wrote a column where I supported Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi. But I have then followed what was happening in the primaries or the follow-up to the primaries of PDP. And I did some research about what each of the candidates meant they wanted to be elected as presidential candidates for PDP. And Peter Obi came up with this slogan. You can Google it. This slogan he started using, that I will unite, secure Nigeria, and turn it into a productive country, was a slogan he used for the primaries. And he later did not follow up the primary. And I felt that kind of catch up with me because I have seen how APC have made Nigeria to go from fry pan to fire. I have seen at least the basics of every nation is to secure the life and property of its citizens. I have seen the international index that have listed Nigeria as the most insecure country after Afghanistan and Syria. I also come to Nigeria. I've seen what is happening with the kidnapping, the bandits, the Boko Haram, the ritualists, the lack of the dysfunctionality of the state. And I felt to secure anybody who tells me he wants to secure, unite the nation, and turn us into a productive country. That was what made me to support P2B. And then when he went into my own party, which is Labour Party, it then gave me that hope that yes, with such Labour Party idealism, which is strong market economy and a strong welfare society, that it is doable. So I have followed the obedient movement all along, and I see that it's going to be done. It's like when Mandela said that it always seems impossible until it's done. 37 million voters of Nigerian youths between 18 and 45 years old, that if all of them, we can mobilize them to come out and use their vote and wait for their vote to be counted, there is nothing that will make P2B not to be the next president of Nigeria. And the polls have even shown that. I don't know if I have answered your question. You have to stop me.
Yes, you did.
Politicians, when we start talking, we know the fit talk.
We're learning so much because I'm just finding out for the first time that Labour Party is even existing in the Norwegian community. I had no idea. So it's actually nice because this talks about the structure they said Labour Party lacks. So this is a welcome information from you. So thank you very much for that. Okay, let's talk about Mr. P2B and his how do you say it? He said he wants to unify and he wants to safeguard and protect lives and properties of Nigerians and all the amazing things that he has said and promised. Okay, now let's talk about what the critics are saying. For example, they are saying that Mr. P2B is making, some say he is giving dubious statistics. You know, when Mr. P2B tells you to go and verify, some say that his statistics is dubious. I don't know, have you verified? Of course, we have verified that Mr. P2B has done everything that he said he has done in Anambra State. We even have a whole show on that. But now, do you believe that Mr. P2B has the capacity to replicate what he has done in Anambra State on a national scale? I mean, you were telling us how you bought into the change that President Buhari brought during the 2015 elections and all that. Do you think that Mr. P2B is going to be any different?
Yes, that's a lot of questions. I'll try. Anyway, on the other note, I'm happy you know now that the Labour Party is an international movement. It's actually the Labour Party that is in government in Norway now. Okay, coming to P2B and what, when P2B started, he was written off because the corrupt, power-drunk politicians that has held Nigeria and has run Nigeria down have believed in a system where it is actually the pathetic manifestation of what we are seeing about the Igbo leadership that doesn't support P2B. Because, Nigeria has been run in a very corrupt way where everybody believes that if you can't win them, you join them. So when somebody of P2B's background comes out to make the kind of promises he has made and to show his background. Today, I tweeted about a short video made by Ben Bruce in 2013 about P2B. Look, my brothers and sisters, to remove the power-drunk politicians, the power elite, these embezzlers masquerading as reformers, it's not going to be very easy. And when you want to shake them, they will come to you with everything. And believe me, you saw what happened to Doyin Okukwe. If P2B, all his jabs, all his utterances, everything he's been saying, it's not true. Believe me, they would have picked on him. But as a journalist too, I also go and research on what people are saying. So I don't doubt that P2B has the best intentions, that he has the best credentials, and that he has also gone and picked a very good vice president. You see how this train has started, and look at the kind of reception he's getting from the North. Because, let's forget about statistics. Let's look at the realities on the ground. The common grounds are very, very clear, my brothers. Fuel scarcity is there. Electricity, nowhere. Security, you don't even know whether it's your country. It has even come to the extent where even some people do not even go to their villages to have marriage ceremonies. So these realities is what is working for P2B. I don't think P2B is special. I think it's that Nigeria, we have found ourselves in a place where no matter any million you have, if you live in the best part of Abuja and you get a heart attack, something that could be saved in a modern country, before the ambulance will get there, you're already dead. So the realities are so bad that the young people who constitute the majority of our nation, who are also political aware, have decided that no, man, we are not going to mortgage our future anymore. This is the best of the all evil we are saying. I'm not saying P2B is a saint. I think the obedient movement is a very unique movement because it is not a part of the Labour Party. I think if I have any advice for them, is that they should keep on building their network, building their structure, so that when P2B wins, they have to also break down on P2B's neck and Daddy's neck and make sure that everything he has promised us, that he's doing it from day one. The fault we did with Buhari was that we gave him a blank check. And when he even used 6 months to choose people who will rule Nigeria, nobody reacted. So the obedient movement have to be the check and balance of P2B's campaign and P2B's presidency, if you ask me.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. And I concur to an extent to what you've said, because I remember Aisha Yusuf was saying something in an interview, how she was saying that she's not in Mr. P2B's tent to be answering His Excellency, yes, sir. She's there to check him. She's there to make sure that everything that he has promised, he is going to keep to it. And I like that about the obedience. They are not there to forget or to get carried away by the fact or by the mere presence of Mr. P2B. They are there to make sure that, see, what you're saying, you will have to fulfill it. And I like that about the obedience. Now, let's talk about the youth. You mentioned the youth being the major population of the obedient movement. Do you think that Mr. P2B, being the president by God's grace, is going to cause the youth of Nigeria to maybe triple their interest in government and begin to run for more political positions in the Nigerian government?
I think so. I don't have any doubt, especially when I talk about the youth, I'm also thinking of a gender-based government. Actually, I expect for the first time that P2B demonstrates that it is possible to have a government where women are majority ministers. Yeah. You know, in Nigeria, we've tested the men for a long time. I'm sorry, apologies to the men hearing, but I think it's right time now, because if you look at the obedient movement, you see that those who are more articulate, vibrant, and down to earth are actually the young ladies. People like Renu, Aisha Mohammed, she's not very old, and many more of them, Blessings, Anya, in the feet. So I don't doubt it that P2B's government is going to be youth-based, because we need that transition. If you look at Norway, where I come from, the Minister of Justice is not even 30 years old. So young people, they understand the digital world where we live, and this government will be a government where the digital age, the digital tools will play a long way, like what people are doing today. So the young people, they understand this medium. They understand how you can use it to build a prosperous nation, because we don't have time to waste. We need to bridge up the gap. We need to turn Nigeria into that African locomotive, and we need to start turning things around. And the young people need that optimism. Immediately you give them a lot of optimism, and P2P comes out and say, okay, I want to provide 10 million youth job program that will involve both employment, skill enhancement, giving grants to those who have business ideas, developing IT hubs, business hubs. This could be done. You know, I was listening to one of your programs where you were asking one of the ladies where the money is not there to give people, young people, to do business and that. My brothers and sisters, we have people who are ready to do that. The European Union is ready. China is ready. Overseas diasporas are ready to give grants to people. But we need also to start changing the Nigerian mentality, the Nigerian value. You know, we need to change how we think and how we look at life. This is what Labour Party is all about. Labour Party is about cutting your coat according to your size and building your life and your society based on integrity, honesty, decency, and fair play and equity, not just corruption. Because we have to also dismantle that system of corruption that is from our own family, our own self, and up to the government. Because leaders are corrupt when we are corrupt, but we need a leader that will send that signal. And I think P2B has demonstrated that he can do that. He has given hope to us that it is possible. And just don't doubt yourself, because you know, in politics, there is this former Prime Minister of Sweden who was murdered in 1986. He was called Olof Palme. He said politics is about having the will. You know, just like Bob Marley said, when there is the will, there is a way. And Obedience have shown that there is a way, and they have shown that there is a will. So we must start believing it that we are winning this election. These 3 weeks now that is remaining, what do? Is to go out and knock doors. That is what we do in Norway. We knock doors. You know, we can even start this million march again, because it's a very effective way of knocking doors. And I have never seen Nigerians before in any election where people show their PVC. Everybody's showing their PVC. Even you have a market in Alaba where they refuse people to come without showing their PVC. So let's now believe that we've won this election, but let's go and claim it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Elvis. Wow. Okay. Let's talk more about the Labour Party now. Before P2B joined the Labour Party, it was just a mushroom party. Okay, this is the biggest traction that it has gotten in probably since its existence in Nigeria. All right. So, but when it started, when P2B joined and the Obedient movement started, the rallies and the 1 million man marches, people said, especially the opposition parties, said that Labour Party lacked structure and didn't have the proper structure to deliver P2B. Okay, they were talking about the spread in the local governments and the wards and the state level and all of that. Also considering the fact that they don't have people in positions like in the state governors and House of Assembly, Senate, and the federal level and all of that. When you compare them to the other parties, what would you say now about the Labour Party structure presently? Is it adequate enough to deliver P2B as a president?
You know, I will compare what is happening now with the P2B and the Obedient movement to what happened in France. Remember, the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, he never had a party. He came out and beat the two established parties through the internet. And, he was told the same thing. He didn't have any structure and anything. But the people of France saw that the both established parties were corrupt and were not taking them anywhere, and they stood up. Look, P2B have said it. He's a very wise man. He said people are the structure. If you appeal to the people, this is the one of the good things about democracy, and it is about mobilization. You know, P2B have mobilized people based on the reality and based on his character and what he can give to Nigerians. So the issue of building a movement, of course, there will be setbacks. I have a lot of not very pleasant experiences dealing with different labor parties in Nigeria because I understood that most of them still have this mindset. You know, it's not easy to change people's perception and attitude, but we will get there. The issue is that let the obedient movement still be the counter check. Let them keep on helping the Labour Party build up the structures. As time goes on, people like you and the obedient movement will go into the established Labour Party and vote out those members who are not serious and who are in, and we will build up that structure. But already the structure is there. The structure is there. Come on, man. Look at what happened in Jigawa. Look at what happened in Adamawa. Look at what happened in Kano. You need structure to build those kind of things. And we have one of the most decentralized structure, which is the Nigerian Labour Congress. That was why it took long to bring out the manifesto, because he needed to consult these people. And when the Labour Congress, when Labour is with you, you know, then you have their structure. So I'm not very afraid about that. What I am very concerned about now is how we should get people to actually beat that, you know, go out and vote. Go out and vote. Remember what happened in Anambra State? The iPod people and everything, they threatened there will be no election and anything. But when the people stood up and voted Soludo in. So this is what we have to do. We need to now tell people that no shaking, my brother. We are going to die for this issue. We want a country that will work for everybody. We want to instill one of the six largest democracies in the world, which is Nigeria. Look, every 5 black men you see, one of them is in Nigeria. And we are the most resourceful people. So we have now been destroyed by corruption, by bad leadership, by embezzlers, by leaders who without have no vision. So the young people now, it's up to you, my brothers and sisters. It's up to you because you make up 70% of the votes. So if you don't do it this time, posterity will not smile on you.
Very well said, Mr. Elvis Chiwosu. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Just like you said, we are the structure. All right, we're going to take a break now so that we can go and take some other messages, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour say, Mama Papa na Labour Party, Mama Papa na Mama Papa na Labour Party, Mama Papa na Labour Party.
Mr. P2B's administration built from scratch Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital with 25 building structures. His government funded transformation of massive infrastructural development, accreditation of 12 health institutions and 2 hospitals, and also built 10 maternal and childcare centers across the state. He is the first governor to purchase medical equipment.
You're welcome back to Diaspora Diaries on Obidatti Family TV. It's still me, P. Catch, and with me in the studio is still
Sharon NM Chukwu.
Yes, Sharon. And we have been talking to Elvis Chiwosu all the way from Shanghai, China. Mr. Elvis, I hope you're still there.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the role of the diasporans in this election. Particularly, you said that you have been sponsoring some Labour Party campaigns and in the grassroots level, you know, and all of that. You even mentioned spending about 1 million naira and spreading it like butter. Okay. All right. But we want to know, We want to know more. Like, what are the Nigerians in the diaspora doing, or what do you think do? What extra thing do you think they should do to ensure that P2B emerges the winner of this election?
First of all, I want to use this opportunity and thank all the diasporans support groups all over the world who have been active, especially those of them in the United States. I can mention Stephen. His surname does not come to my head now. He runs the Obi Square, Town Hall Square from New York. This fellow has taken permission from his job to run a Twitter space every day on a daily basis. Believe me, you know, I don't think we would have been able to participate the way we have done without the Twitter app. The Twitter space has been like a think tank station that has made it easy for we diasporans not to only take part in the decision, but to build network and be able to identify credible support groups and credible individuals who we could support to. But in these 3 weeks now, I will challenge all diasporans that we dig again into our pocket and try and identify support groups so that we can then support with dummy ballots. We need to make the issue of LP very visible. So if you're a diaspora out there and you have not given any sheshe, this is the time now for you to do it, because we need to go out with this last weeks now very aggressively to support both radio jingles, to support both town criers, to support getting speakers like as we have started giving. We also give loudspeakers to market groups, because it is the last 3 weeks that actually tells in an election. It is going to be a very close election, very close one. Every vote is going to count. And why is it going to count? It's because Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are suffering very well. So if you're a diaspora now, please, let's give to Obi account. If you don't trust any of the support groups, you Google Obi support account, which is Zenith Bank, and pay into it. We need money. We need money to make it happen. Politics is about also money, and especially Nigerian politics, especially when we are having a candidate that is driving billion van into his house, and we have the ones who have millions of dollars in Dubai. Then we, the people, can show that if we all produce from 1,000 naira to 5,000 naira to every other thing, we can do it. But the diaspora also can start also identifying leaders, young leaders in Nigeria we can help to after the election. We can also influence by giving them leadership training, making sure that we identify the international grants, educational grants that will make them get exposure so that they can also come back and be more useful. I just see this thing as a blessing for us. So I will appeal to diasporans to do more. I'm going to do more. I'm going to be there in Nigeria. So I think there's nothing again I can say than to say that diasporans, please give more than what you have been given. And they have been doing a lot. They have been doing a lot. This obedient will not have been the same without the support of the diasporans. But of course, the credit goes to those of you who are the foot soldiers, those of you who risk being kidnapped, being shot at police, those of you who move out to actually go out and challenge the establishments, like those of them in Lagos. It's not easy, you know. So we are ready to do more, and we're going to do more.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I've learned a lot again, because he mentioned key things that are really important if you want to move any election, not just this one. I actually appreciate the fact that the people in diaspora are actually supporting financially as well. If you notice, this is the first movement, the first of its kind that is based on voluntarism. I mean, everybody that is part of this obedient movement is bringing out funds from their pockets. As regards to the other kind of elections that we've been used to for a while, where they have to convince you with monetary gifts or half bag of rice and 2,000 naira, that kind of thing. So this is the first of its kind, and we appreciate this new order. My question to you is concerning what you said. You said that the election is going to be fair and fair, that every vote is going to count. Now, do you have faith in INEC to deliver a fair election come February 25th?
I have no doubt that I have faith on INEC. You know, where it is a double-edged issue. INEC has also been influenced by the Obidient group. Remember, this is the first time that INEC in the Nigerian electoral process have made public their voters registration online. And where we have also complained on the 8 voters, and they have done something about it. If you're looking for a perfect process, you'll never find it. You know, there is no perfect country, no perfect family, no perfect destiny, but the people again are the structures. This is why, you know, Peter B. Chinua Achebe wrote in his book, one of his books, he said, when the bird have learned to fly without perching, that the hunter will learn to shoot without missing. So this is what we are going to do in this election. Even with the shortcomings, let's acknowledge INEC, because they are people, you know, they are also the structure. If we make them believe that we trust in their work, they will do a good work. But we are not going to leave it at that. We are going to make sure that if you have a body camera, take it with you. You see this telephone, it does a lot of things. It can do surveillance. It can translate a lot of things. We are going to win election with this equipment, and we are going to vote, and we are going to wait there till the vote is counted and make sure that the beaver is moving. If you have an extra generator, you know, I passed my neighbor, take it with you to the polling station. If you have a special network that gives a special, you know, internet, take it that day, so that if INEC say their own is not working, it's okay. I go share my own network, so that we can we show them that we're a digital generation, that we mean business, you know, that our labors will not be in vain, that we've not been talked down all these 7 months just to come on that day and say it's not go work. So it will not happen. But I give INEC a credit too, and I know the world is watching them. You know, the international observers will watch them. So, you know, like as Igbo people say, that piece together, it will make it home. So that is what we're going to do in this.
Thank you very much. Time is just flying.
Thank you.
You personally said that you were going to come back for the elections. I want to be sure that I heard you correctly. Yes. You're coming back to vote.
Yes.
So you have your PVC.
I don't have my PVC, unfortunately, but I'm coming back to monitor the election in Obidatti, and make sure that if I can vote, I can be able to be cooking the pepper soup for those who go vote.
That's good. That's great. That's great.
So it's my challenge. I think I will do that through Ethiopian Airlines and we'll fly to Enugu and make sure that we do it.
Okay. So you mentioned something about international observers. I want to know, what do you think the international community, like countries, like the superpowers, can do to ensure that the elections are held in a credible manner, okay, and to avoid violence? Because a lot of people have also foresee violence emanating from the aftermath of the elections. How do you think we can avoid this violence and the role the international community can play to avert it?
I think the international community can put more pressure, like as they have been doing now, on the present government, that they make sure that the security agencies are provided for. The European Union observation team have had meetings both with INEC and the government to go through the benchmarks for it. Nobody, you know, wants to have a mandate that is not recognized abroad or internationally. But, you know, one cannot also intervene into Nigeria's sovereign activities. The only thing we can do is to keep putting pressure and making sure we go through all the benchmarks, that the security agencies are ready, The INEC is having a lot of the money they need. They've been asked, they say they have that. And you saw that even the INEC chairman was invited to London to have an audience. So the international eye is on Nigeria. If you look at international polls, this is one of the few elections in Nigeria, which is Africa's largest democracy, where the Bloomberg news media have come out with a poll. The African Report have come out with a poll. The New York Times have come out with a poll. The Sky News had a special session with P2B in London. So we know that this is not going to be business as usual. And this is what is giving sleepless nights to the opposition. Actually, it is very clear. And you know, the Nigerian poll by Peter Said is going to come out again next week or something, the last poll before. And I'm very sure P2B will still rule it on. So there is very limited the international community can do. It's still based on Nigerians for them to go up and deliver their nation. That's how I'll put it.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to know your final thoughts. We've had the ANAP polls, we've had the Bloomberg polls. We want to hear the Elvis Chinwosu polls. How do you see these election results playing out?
I see it very clearly that P2B will win the South-South. P2B will win the South-East. P2B will win the South-Central. And with that, 25% of the votes are guaranteed in the core North. We see that, you know, the rallies are also an indication and a benchmark of it. Lagos will also be very, very tough. But if the security agencies, which we have seen, you see that the commissioner of police have been changed there. So I see them also making an impact in Lagos. And Oyo is the second largest southwest, and it's up for grabs because their governor is not supporting Atiku. So this is how I have tried to look at the party. And if we are able to mobilize people to go and vote, for God's sake, Nigerians, the vote, 37 million that has been published, 18 to 45 years old, make up 66% of the voters, those with PVC. If they vote, forget anything, P2B will win this election. Even those of them, I also talk to them, those of them who I know collect money from APC. You know, this election will be like a buffet. It will be like this. You go, you choose amala. You go here, you take pepper soup. You take a wedu soup. You take a dikaikon, and you know. So it's gonna be like that. But most of them tell me, okay, you know, say when it comes to presidency, it's P2B, and I'm not afraid that we are not going to emerge with a National Assembly where Labour is going to be the majority. The issue is that when P2B wins, everybody who is elected to do the best for Nigeria, you know. And when he sends that signal, remember the first 6 months of Buhari, everybody started returning the money they stole. This, if you're in PDP, you're in APP, politics is about building alliances and seeking consensuousness. It has happened in Nigeria before. NPP built an accord with NPN to get a majority in the National Assembly. Ojo Okalu PPP went in alliance with Obasanjo's PDP to get an absolute distinct. So we are going to build consensus and alliances with those elected officials. And as you know now, when people being win now, it will have a swing effect too. Most of you who are on the ballot box will suddenly go into the Senate because people will just vote Labour very, very well. But that I know. And Nigerian politics is that the person who is the leader, others will just defect. So let's keep it that way. Let's go out and make people be the president, and we're going to win.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Elvis Chinwosu. There's so much more that we would like to discuss with you because you're quite vast, you know. So probably we'll have you another time before the elections come. It's been a pleasure talking to you today on the program Diaspora. Diaspora Diary. Thank you for speaking to us, and I wish that you continue to do the work that you are doing for the Obidatti movement. Sharon, what do you want to say to him?
I must commend Mr. Elvis on the kind of support that he's rendering towards this election. We need to give him his flowers, because all this that he's doing, especially the fact that he's not even in Nigeria at the moment, and the fact that he's even planning to come back, it shows that if he could get his PVC, he would have. And we see how he's trying to ensure that his community is voting for the right person. I like the aggression. I like that fire. So I must commend you, Mr. Elvis, and it's such an honor to have spoken to you today about Labour Party and Mr. P2B and your whole viewpoint on the oncoming elections. Thank you very much. That's just all I have to say.
Yes, and we want to say that you are a proper Nigerian.
Yeah,
of course. So in Nigeria with a big N. But both of you, I love you too. You are very, very. Just keep up the work. I hope to see you people more on the screen.
Yeah.
Let's keep it up. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye then. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Elvis Chinwosu, all the way from Shanghai, China, speaking to us about the role of the Nigerians in the diaspora for this coming elections. And one thing was holding P2B accountable when he eventually wins, okay? That's the thing that the obedient movement has to do. So we'll not just go back to sleep, but, hold the government accountable and make sure that they fulfill the promises
that they are making.
In the manifesto.
And I like that, because I see how he's not just the only person that has mentioned this. People are mentioning the fact that they are not going to sit back and fold their hands like what they did in 2015. People are actually going to be asking questions. They're going to be making demands, and they want that demands to be met. So I like that about this obedient movement. And I also see that the obedient movement doesn't end on February 25th. I see it continuing. I see a future. I see a more involved population. Yes, I see the youth. I see women. I see men being more involved in the in forthcoming elections. And I see people in diaspora. I've been shocked beyond words what these people are doing, despite the distance. So I see this is a revolutionary stage for Nigeria. So I see Nigeria, how do I say it, moving into a new order. I see Nigeria becoming something that we've only dreamt about. And I'm so glad I'm part of the generation to witness this. So it is quite amazing. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on today's episode of the program. You know that you can also reach out to us, share your views on the comment section of our social media handles. We are at Obidatti Family TV on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And also, we are also on YouTube. Just search for us at Obidatti Family TV and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us individually. Mine is at Official PCatch. Across all platforms. And you, Sharon? Mine is my full name, Sharon NM Chuku, on all social media platforms. All right, that's our show for today. Till we'll come your way again, same time tomorrow. Have a blessed day.